Hey, what is going on, everybody? Venator Trading, ready to get it. Welcome to the first live stream. So glad you guys are here. This is just a little bit of my journey on becoming a funded trader. And yeah, I love trading Forex, indices, gold, crypto. Been at it for several years. And I've passed a couple of challenges and been funded. I've lost some funded accounts. I'm working on getting a few challenges done right now. And so it's just my journey. Follow along. There's so much that goes into getting funded and staying funded and getting payouts. And there's a ton of people in the space right now that are trying to do that. And so, yeah, this is just my journey. I'm not a guru, but I am becoming consistently profitable and sharpening my edge. And so Venator trading, Venator means hunter. That's how I kind of view what I do, and what we should all be doing. Hunting, looking, stalking, being patient, and waiting. So currently I have 3 challenges going. One is in phase 2. It's a $100,000 account with my funded FX. I also have a $250,000 challenge with them. They were running a special here a few weeks ago that did not count against their max allocation of $300,000 per person. And so I bought that, and that's in phase 1. Both of those 2 accounts are currently in drawdown, which is actually kind of good because I was hoping that I would get into drawdown at some point during one of these live streams, so I can show you how I manage risk and can hopefully pull those accounts back out of drawdown and eventually pass. The nice thing with the prop firm My Funded FX is that there are no time limits, so there's no rush once you're in drawdown that you've got to hit a certain time limit before you can before you fail the challenge. So it's, if you hit their max loss, which for the $100,000 account is 8%, for the $250,000 account it's 10%. If you hit those max losses, then you fail the challenge. Or if you hit their max daily loss, which I do not. I have rules that if I lose more than 2% in one day, I'm done. And I typically am only taking a few trades a week max. Some of the data that's come out recently from some of the prop firms, if they become more transparent, which I think is fantastic, is they let people kind of peek behind the curtain and see how everything's working. They've recently released some statistics that say that most of the people who get payouts are traders, are not only the ones that get the most payouts, but the biggest piece of the pie when it comes to how much they're paying out are the traders who are taking about 10 to 12 trades a month. And I know some of y'all are out here taking 10 or 12 trades a week. Some of you may be pushing that a day. And it's just showing that to be consistent in this game, to be here for the long haul, you've got to be patient. You've got to wait for the perfect A+ setups. And you just gotta, you gotta wait. You gotta hunt. You gotta be a hunter. And Venator, Latin for hunter. Thought it was cool. Kind of described to me. No one else is using that handle. I'm not really on here looking to try to be a guru. Really just another trader who's trying to figure it out, just like you, and trying to refine my edge, master my risk management, get funded, get payouts. Eventually, quit the 9 to 5, man. I hope that's why we're doing all of this. Financial freedom, to be able to be your own boss and call your own shots and have the ultimate freedom of time, which is priceless. So anyway, that's kind of a little bit about me as we jump into this live stream. And so I'm glad you guys are here. Feel free to jump in the chat. I'll be watching it. If I see stuff pop up, you got a question, cool. So far, one viewer, maybe? All right, that's cool. Really quickly, yeah, we just moved into this kind of new townhome, my wife and I. And the office that I'm in here is still kind of being decorated and unpacked, and it looks like a mess behind me. Thus, the black space behind me here. So, this is what it is. She would kill me if it was on the interwebs forever. Her unfinished room. So it's just me being respectful of my wife. Happy wife, happy life, as they say. All right, so we are gonna jump on the charts and take a look and see what's going on. So I like to focus on euro dollar, pound dollar, may do some gold. I always look at crypto only because it fascinates me. I don't ever really trade on my challenges, but I do try to analyze it and see what's going on. We'll look at dollar CAD, indices, NAS, and S&P. Used to trade those a lot. Haven't touched them much lately, but I do analyze them. And then, of course, the dollar index, just as correlation between the euro, the pound, and the indices, and even gold some too. So anyway, just to kind of catch you up, this from here to here was Monday. This is so crazy. From here to here was Tuesday. Sorry, I was wrong. From here to here was Monday. Here to here is Tuesday. And so far, here to here is Wednesday. Just big up day, big down day, big up day on the pound. And it looks very similar when we go to the euro as well. Even almost more pronounced. So you've got big up day, big down day yesterday, and here we are. I mean, it's just ching, 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 ping-ponging. Huge ranges. We had all of this junk last week where everything was just packed in tight. We got our expansion, cleared out liquidity, shot all day yesterday, just shot back down, ended up in the range. I was expecting price to come back up into this imbalance right here and come back down and start aiming for some of these lows in this retail liquidity here. And you can see, man, they're just, I still think it's going to come down. They're just, yeah. But they didn't. Now it's shot back up. I've had 2 trades this week and 2 losses on both of these accounts. The first one was yesterday. I didn't get in on the Monday move. Yesterday, I was expecting price to come back down into here, into this range somewhere. A little bit of an OTE from this impulse leg up. And then come back out, take up this high. This is a monthly imbalance, fair value gap, whatever, up here, order block. And then just shot right through, took me out, slapped me on both of those positions for each of those challenges. So it's like, okay, cool. It's jumped back into the range. All it did was grab liquidity, accumulation, manipulation. What comes next? Distribution. So I was like, all right, nice little breaker block on the 4-hour right here. Shot up, took out liquidity, immediately came down, displaced through with a fair value gap. So I was looking at getting in here around this breaker inside this imbalance to come back up, and it slapped me again. It's just That's what happened. So that's no fun. I did not enjoy that. 2 losses in a row, which is a lot, honestly. As I've come up to higher time frames for analysis and executions, waiting for price to get to where I want it to go, my win rate has gone way up. Which is also why I risk 2% per trade on the challenges. My setups are way more consistent and way more high probability when on the higher time frames. So I took 2 L's. On my $100,000 account, I am down 4.5%. And so from here, I will reduce my risk to 1% on that account. I'm only down 1.5%, 1%, just over a little over 1% on my 250K account. And so I'll continue to risk 2% on that until I'm at 5% overall, half of the total drawdown. Once I reach half of the total drawdown in percentage, I will reduce my risk down to 1%, and then based on my system and numbers and probability, 1% will help me pull back out into break even, and then once I'm on break even, I will again go back to a 2% risk. Within 2 trades, sometimes 1 trade, I can pass a phase 1 or phase 2. I also have a $100,000 challenge account with the funded trader, and it is in profit. It was up 1 or 2%, would drop down to 1 or 2%. I think the lowest it got was 3%. But the funded trader has a 30-day time limit, and you will get a free reset after 30 days if you're in profit. And so let's see, what's today, Wednesday? So Monday I brought that. It was just under break even, and the time limit expires tomorrow, Thursday, April 24th. And so I think that's right. No, 27th. It's tomorrow, Thursday. And so I was like, man, time limits, they suck. You have to hit an aggressive profit target in a 1-month period on a time limit. And so I've just let it sit a little bit above break even. It's in profit. So Thursday, at the end of the day, I'll get a account reset from them, and then we'll start that one back over probably next week, maybe Friday. It depends on how fast they turn those credentials around for me, but we'll see. So yeah, 3 accounts, 3 challenges. If I can pass them all, it would be 450,000 asset under management. I had a $300,000 account funded with the funded trader program, and it's the first big account I had. Did not manage it well, and ended up hitting the max drawdown limit in 1 month. And I just totally did not follow my rules. It's like, oh, okay, now I'm funded. I'm a good trader. I can just make money. And that's not how it works. That's not what happens. All right. So back to the charts. As we look at what is happening with the euro and the pound, where do we go from here? What's going to happen? I think both are headed higher. We're in this choppy range. I thought we popped out Monday, retest, take it out, but obviously they're not done. engineering liquidity. Same with the euro, not quite as clear. Their range was tighter. Overall, we're still in this dealing range from this high to this low. We still haven't broken out of it on either side. So when you look at the dollar index, this big red box is a monthly fair value gap right here. We've dipped into it once, we've dipped into it again, and I think we're going to want to come down, eventually want to fill this, but this is a monthly order block. If this month closes below, then I would expect May to come up, maybe into back up into here, and then maybe we get our drop in May. Don't know. That's kind of how I'm seeing it. I would like to see the dollar come down at least 50% of that fair value gap. Doesn't have to. Just kind of how I feel about it. So look, when you go back to the pound, you're looking at the monthly. You can see you have this bullish, small little bullish order block right here is currently holding price down, but above it you have this huge imbalance, and you have this is a monthly bearish breaker. So you had price move down to get this move up to take out this liquidity, impulse move back down through that order block. That order block, when it's moved, traded through, leaves behind a fair value gap. This becomes a monthly breaker, and we haven't even hit there yet, which coincides with the top of that order block and this imbalance. So I think, the pound is going to come up at least to 26, 27 area. And then who knows what it does after that. Maybe it hits this monthly breaker, starts making, this becomes this is a higher high, this is a higher low. We've made and broken structure now, so we're going to make a new higher high, lower high, and keep going up potentially. On the weekly, it's taking out liquidity. You can see these relatively equal highs right here, and these imbalances up into this order block here. So this is my kind of initial target for pound. Drop down to the daily, you can see we're still a couple hundred pips away from that, so we still have a lot of movement to do to hit up there. I thought after Monday we would expand up and come close to it this week, but end of the month, end of the week, yeah, it's just highly volatile. Big up, big down. It's currently big up, and you can see it left no wick on today's candle. It just opened on the pound and just has been rallying all night long through London into New York. So I don't know what it's going to do. 4 hour, you've now had this impulse down, impulse up. On the 4 hour, you have this balanced price range. It may want to come back in and fill in some of this today, New York. If you pop a fib from the London, Asian low to current high, it means it would want to come back down into this area, back into a discount. There's a fair value gap sitting right here, so maybe New York comes down, tries to rally back up to take out the highs from yesterday and Monday. Hard to say. It's just, huge dip down, huge dip up. I really have no bias, clear bias. There's no good PD arrays to look at and say, oh well, this would be a good entry long, or this would be a good entry short, because they're on both sides. It's not clear. This is what happens when it's stuck inside everything. So that's pound. Dollar CAD. I did a test live stream yesterday and called this trade right here. Did analysis from top down on dollar CAD, and order block, breaker, 4-hour fair value gaps, all this stuff. The dollar was bullish yesterday after that overnight move in London. You had this at 4 a.m. You had this pullback. 5, 6, 7 closed above. This becomes a bullish order block. I use the wick to the body, and I said if price is going to continue to move higher, then it will not invalidate. It will respect this PD array. It will respect this candle right here. So, and it did. I said, I drew out this, came back in at 8 o'clock, tapped in, and eventually moved to fill in this 4-hour. The red box in here is a 4-hour, I believe. Would have been a great trade. I didn't take it because I had already lost on the pound trade overnight. So my 2% was gone. I didn't have any bullets left to shoot, which I'm okay with. It doesn't bother me. I'm a hunter. I take what I need, and when it doesn't fit, it doesn't stress me out. So dollar CAD, let me get rid of all of this stuff here. All right. So even with the weak dollar overnight, dollar CAD has stayed strong. We do have some news coming up in about 30 minutes. Durable goods order. It's red folder. I don't ever remember durable goods being a huge volatility maker. These charts, who actually knows? In these days, some of the toughest trading conditions I can remember. I've been learning to do this for over 4 years now, and just now feel confident in my ability to consistently analyze and predict and capitalize on how the market books price. ICT calls it the algorithm. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't, but it definitely moves to liquidity. It moves to take out liquidity, to gather positions, to go to liquidity on the other side. All right, so dollar CAD just kind of moving around this tight little range. We do have this imbalance right here on the 1 hour. If you look left, you can see we're coming up into, filled in this order block on the daily. I mean this imbalance on the daily. It's grab this order block right here, and perhaps it respects this now and comes back down. We've got, I mean, it's such a big range day yesterday. So far, small little range today. And with the dollar weak, it looks like the Canadian dollar is also weak, and it's just sitting there. It's two little weak pairs slapping each other. Little girl fight. Sorry, that was probably a very sexist thing to say. Apologize to all the girls out there who can actually fight pretty well. Anyway, maybe you look for some manipulation. If it's going to go higher, back down to this fair value gap. see if it respects this order block to go higher. So if you were looking to trade, you could anticipate something like this. A 1.79. Not bad. You could get a little tighter infantry if you targeted 50%. You could get a almost 1 to 3, 1 to 2.5, which is a great. I mean, if you risk 2% per trade like I do, or 1%, you could make 2.5% on the day if this trade played out. I'm not saying it will. Don't know. This is not a signal service. This is just how I see the market. You're joining me in my journey. I will not be taking any executions today, as I got slapped last night on both of my challenge accounts. Here's something that I would highly recommend. Just a little advice on some psychology. It's helped me. So most of these prop firms have competitions where at the beginning of the month you can sign up for a competition, you can jump in. At the end of the month, I think like the top person gets a free challenge and some cash. And I think they give free small challenge accounts to like the top 10 or top 20. They're different for every firm. You just need to go check them out. Man, sign up for those, and and try to, number one, it's basically a demo that if you do well and you trade well, there's a payout, so to speak, at the end. But really what it allows you to do is, man, when you're emotional after your challenge account has not gone well or your funded account hasn't gone well, it gives you an account that you can go to and with no repercussions really, because it's truly, there's no skin in the game. There's nothing at risk. Because let's be honest, out of 9,500 traders that sign up for these things, the chances that you're going to be the best in any 1 month are pretty slim. So you go into it knowing, this is my DGen account. This is the account I use when I'm on tilt. When my analysis was correct, my stop loss gets tapped, and then price moves immediately back in the direction I thought it was going to go. Congratulations, you discovered that you were the liquidity today. And now you're pissed off and you want to revenge trade. You want to get right back in the market. Well, you close your funded challenge or your funded account or your challenge account. You open up these little competition accounts and you get right back in. Use those accounts. Now, honestly, the best thing is for self-discipline, shut the chart, close your computer, turn off the app on your phone, and go do something else. Walk away. Because tomorrow, there's going to be another opportunity. And if it's not tomorrow, then the next day, there'll be another opportunity. And if you use one of these prop firms that have no time limits, relax. You're going to lose trades, and you're going to lose trades that upset you, that take you out by a pip and then reverse, or are within a pip of your profit to pass and then reverse, and you didn't take partials and then you're a break even. Oh, it's going to happen. We're human. We make mistakes. This is the way it works in the trading game. So get a competition account on a couple of different firms, and when you're ticked off and when you're emotional and when you feel yourself going on tilt and want to revenge trade, get in on this, because you do well on that, you could get another challenge or some cash or something. But alternatively, if you want real skin in the game, just buy their lowest challenge that you can afford. So I don't know. I think my funded FX even just ran a special on their 5K account. They ran 40% off, which I think it ended up being like $30. $30. Man, you could buy 2 or 3 of those, and there's no time limits on them, and it doesn't even start till you take trade. Just stack them over up in your MT4 or MT5. Have them there. You get ticked off. You go over there and you degen trade on there, and you leave your larger funds that are messing with your head that you want to pass so badly. You protect them after you've hit your loss limit for the day, whatever that is for you. So yeah, I have that. I think it's just a good idea to have, because sometimes you just need to punch a bag, and for traders that means going full margin on a revenge trade to prove that you can beat the market. And we all know when that happens, most of the time you lose that too. All right, so let's look at a couple other pairs here. We've looked at euro. This is the dollar CAD trade. The dollar index has dropped down into this monthly. It's left this bullish order block. It's respected it this hour. Kind of respected it. Hit this fair value gap, and now it's dropping lower. So if the dollar continues to drop today, this is yesterday's low. Maybe it wants to come and take that out. This is just the weirdest thing. V shape, V shape. I mean, it's not even tight. It's just straight down, straight up, straight down. And this hasn't even been a huge news week. It's just a weird. When price doesn't respect PD arrays, we are all liquidity. So 1 hour. Yeah, I really have no idea what to even look for. This could be considered a 1 hour breaker. Right here, price came down, came up, took out old highs, impulse moved back through, fair value gaps all up in here. So this could potentially be a spot to look for the dollar to respect. And it already kind of has a little bit, never got back up to it. 4 hour, it's just big candles, big candles. There's just nothing there to trade, nothing there to give indication. Looks like it's going to want to come down and try and take out these lows from yesterday. These are relative equal lows down here that it's kind of tapped in, but didn't really like break through. Not that I would call like traded through. Still liquidity down there, in my opinion. This is all in my opinion, just entertainment, guys, not financial advice. All right, pound. Bullish order block, seems to be respecting it. Euro, don't know. Looks like it's gonna try to take out yesterday's high and then take out the high from Friday, the 14th. Don't really know, man. It is a total guessing game. I have been bearish dollar this whole month. And there's been some good opportunities to capitalize on that. There's been some good trade ideas that have come from that. But yeah. Anyway, here we are in the middle of no man's land. Let's look at gold. On the daily, in a tight range, we've got liquidity below here. We've got relative equal highs here. On the 4 hour, you've got this retail trend line that people are like, oh, it's gonna respect this trend line. You've got these relatively equal highs up here with imbalance, so there's nothing in here that looks attractive to trade. You want to see price. This is the 1 hour. I mean, look. Where's your bias? There isn't one. Where's your PDA rate? There isn't one. There's just a big range that hasn't been broken. Just caught inside. So, nothing happening here in gold. S&P daily. We had this lower, a higher low, a higher high, and now we're about to break through. And so what does that mean? It means there's going to be a breaker block. So it could be this one, could be this one, I'm not sure, but if this closes down in here today, then these would become breakers that I would look for price to come back up and then drop lower. You've got a lot of imbalance here on the daily time frame. You've got, yeah. So looks like it's wanting to move lower, take out, grab into this liquidity. If it wants to go higher, relative equal lows, imbalances, order blocks, breaker blocks, all of them are in here that I can see. So on NAS, similar. It's already filled in this imbalance here, but it hasn't on the S&P. Also, you can see we took out this high. So look at this. See how this goes like this? Up. When you go to NAS, what's it do? Down. So that's SMT on the daily time frame, where ES or S&P took out the high here. NAS did not. It's dropped lower. But alternatively, you have now this, and you still have no low made over here. So SMT on both sides. Today, if you drop down into the intraday charts, here's your relative equal lows. Here's your imbalance. Yeah, I mean, I could see price wanting to come down into here today. So typically this moves opposite the dollar. So when they're moving together, it doesn't give you high probability trades. When the dollar's dropping, it should mean risk on, and it's not. S&P and NAS are dropping while the dollar's dropping too. So those are not high probability conditions to trade in. So yeah, I would just wait for more evidence. This is what trading looks like. You wait. You do not just jump in at every PDA rate. You don't drop down to the 5 minute, the 2 minute, the 1 minute and be like, oh, there's a breaker, there's an order, and that's how you blow accounts. That's how you blow challenges. All right. What else? Bitcoin. Bitcoin is coming up to this order block. So yeah, we'll see what happens on this daily order block right here. See what price wants to do. If the central banks are going to introduce digital currency, it's not going to be good for crypto. In fact, they're going to need to decimate crypto so that they have control and monopoly on currency, digital currency. So you've got your first stop at 26,500. You've got your second stop at 20, just call it 24, around 24,000. And then 20,000 and 15,000. So it's hard to say if it respects this bearish break or this bearish order block and wants to come down and grab this liquidity. You could find a nice trade in there probably. Dollars down, Bitcoin's up. Yeah. Yeah, just so much whipsaw. Pound yen. Tight range. 4 hour. Nothing to do. Relative equal lows down here. There's sell side liquidity here. There's relative equal highs up here. There's buy side liquidity here. Your guess is as good as mine. It's in halfway between the range. There's no clear PD array to work with. It's broken structure here. Have an order block up here. Be interested to see which way is it going to go. Nobody knows. We have news in about 18 minutes. So we'll stick around and see if the news brings any movement to the market. Dollar, euro. $15-minute time frame is about as low as I will go to look for entries if I have a clear bias in PD array on a higher time frame I'm interested in. You just want to be on the right side of the market, and when you get down those lower time frames, there's structure being formed, yes, but it's easy to get confused. It's easy to see a impulse move on the 1 minute time frame. That break structure creates a breaker block with a fair value gap, and you're like, okay, I'm using that. That's my entry. And it's complete opposite of what the higher time frames are actually doing. And you get slapped. Just stay on the higher time frames. Watch your consistency improve and climb. All right. 0 viewers. Welcome, 0 viewers. Hello, no one. Wonder how long it's going to take before I get a viewer. Which I'm really kind of surprised, because I actually am using my phone. I thought I was. Oh yeah, I wasn't. Using my phone to keep up with what's going on, see the chat, make sure everything's working right. So it says I have 0 viewers. I'm watching myself. I guess that doesn't count. I don't know. It is on a different, like, it's on my private YouTube, like personal YouTube, versus Venator Trading is a different email account and separate account altogether. So it's weird. What's the delay? I'm wondering what the delay is. So look, I'm watching myself. Let's see. So it says on the screen 7:44 456.57, and on my screen it's at 745.08, 09. So I mean, it's only just a couple seconds behind, maybe 5 seconds latency. Is that right? I feel like when I'm watching other people's live streams, it's there's a way bigger time delay there, and it looks good. Like, everything's looking good. Like, it's pretty high quality. Yep. Yeah. Okay. I like it. Well, you got one viewer. Doesn't matter that it's your own account. It's not for any of that, really. This is just for me to get comfortable doing this and to be honest and accountable to my own strategy. 15-minute pound. It's taking out some highs here, grab some liquidity. There's some trend line down here. Euro taking out some highs. Yesterday's highs right up here. There's relative equal lows down here. Got an imbalance. So if it wants to run higher, I would look at maybe this. Maybe the news sends us here. And then we run up to take out yesterday's high at the bare minimum. If you maybe 50% of this fair value gap could give you a tighter entry. Stop. I would probably, if I was going to take a trade like this, I would put it below that low, but you could put it below. It shouldn't come back below, but this candle doesn't have a wick, and wickless candles typically are inefficient price action and typically will get tapped again. So I would put it here. A discount would be down in here, 50% below. It would be below that, and then you would be looking at, you know, something in here as an OTE. But price has not done any fair retracements. It's just been one direction, and then the complete opposite direction, and then the complete original direction. So very difficult. But on the 15-minute time frame, it has Euro has put in some relative equal lows here, left behind a fair value gap. There's a little order block, 15-minute order block scenario here. So you could either say below those candles, you could get a 1 to 4 or a 1 to 3. I would probably choose the 1 to 3 just to be safer. If I was going to take this, I don't know what's going to happen. Again, you've got news coming out in 12 minutes. Red folder news. I don't know what it's going to do. I always like to read these little news flashes. I don't know when they started popping up. They did. And I think it's funny because most of the time, a lot of times, it'll give you like 3 headlines. And I've noticed, it seems that I've noticed that they can be quite conflicting. So 13 minutes ago, MT Newswire says, U.S. dollar declines early Wednesday prior to advanced trade, durable goods, oil stocks data. 14 minutes ago, Reuters. Swedish crown softens after market sees Riksbank dovishness, euro rebounds. And then again, Reuters, 15 minutes before that. Markets mixed as tech boosts U.S. stock futures, euro dips. Europe dips. News means nothing. Means nothing. All they're doing, all news is technical analysis from a commercial standpoint. They're just looking at what the markets are doing, just like you and I are, and then they're putting a headline to it and trying to come up with a reason for why those things are happening on the charts. Same thing we're doing. But they think it's headlines and people. They don't take into account that the market just seeks liquidity, moves in liquidity. Anyway, we'll see what the durable goods orders. It was -1. It's forecast to be 0.7. So if it comes in at 0.7, what does that mean? I have no clue, and I don't care. I'm not in the market. I'm just observing. If you are in a trade from down here somewhere, let's say, what is this? So 145. So this is right before the London Open. At London Open, price dips back into that fair value gap. That's your 2022 ICT YouTube mentorship entry. You had price come down. You've had a shift of structure. You had a impulse move, a fair value gap. You get in right there and you target highs. So if you were up, I was not, at 2 o'clock in the morning, and you took that trade in the London session, good job. I wouldn't have taken that trade because I was expecting these lows to get taken out. I thought it would come back up into here and then drop and take out these lows and reach for this sell side liquidity down here. It just said nope. Wham. Now we're just moving sideways. See, yeah, pound. I don't see. It's respecting these 15-minute order blocks, and now we're moving sideways. Got some liquidity here. People have moved stops up here, here, and here. So maybe the news gets you a dip back down into this order block. I would not want to see, if I'm going to be bullish on pound today, I would not want to see price come below here. If it stays above there, then we're bullish. And if you were wanting to take a trade, then I would say below this candle, maybe your entry is like right here. And your stop is below that bearish candle right there. And then you're targeting yesterday's, no, that's Monday's high. Yeah, I mean, I guess you could take out yesterday's high. That was right here. It's already done that. Nope. Hadn't. So something like that. That's what I'd be looking at on pound. Calling this now. Calling it. With the way price has moved these last 3 days, I have no idea. This is just, if I was looking at this and I'm like, I'm bullish pound right now, bullish pound, then this is what I would be expecting price to do. But you can see on dollar, this fair value gap, it's going to want to maybe come back up, retest this order block here. Something like this. Kind of how I see it. So we'll see what happens today. I don't know. It's a crazy day. Crazy day. If I'm right on the pound and euro, then this trade would lose. If it comes down and taps us in, I would expect it to keep dropping, and then you would have to flip this, and you would have to say So we've had a break of structure here on the 15-minute. So you could be seeing the dollar CAD start to decline with the dollar again. Which one is the dollar going to be strong, or is the dollar going to be weak? What do you think? I'm talking to myself, one viewer. Lots of waiting. It's the hard part of trading. All the waiting. I'll stick around to the news, see if we get any movement on the news, and then I'm probably gonna call it a day. My plan right now, be here Wednesday, Thursday, Fridays around 6 a.m., which is for me 7 a.m. New York time, which is the New York Open kill zone for Forex pairs. I might do some evening commentary type stuff if I'm looking at placing some limit orders overnight. I don't know. Maybe I'll just do Twitter. Maybe I'll just put that stuff up on Twitter and not do an actual live video. I don't know. We'll see. If we ever get more than one viewer and one subscriber, we'll see what happens. This is where we're at right now. We have news coming out in 3 minutes. So we'll watch and wait. I'm not afraid to trade news like durable goods. I would not trade news like CPI, NFP. I think we have GDP coming up later this week. There's no reason to be in the market when numbers like that hit, because it's going to be crazy. Thought my dogs were coming in here. All right, we've got news in 2 minutes. Just waiting. How about get that vibe going a little bit louder? Oh, that was interesting. Did you hear that? All right. CAD, pound, engineering liquidity, news pops, taps you in, runs higher. Same thing, USD CAD. Yeah. I'm more inclined to think that this dollar CAD is going to run lower since it's respected this order block here, and I mean, it can't break above it. So I would take this off. I would take this off. And I would, to remain consistent with my bias on euro or pound, I would be looking for something like this. Price to move back in. It's in a premium. Looking for price to move back into a discount. Look at all these relative equal lows down here. Just all kinds of sell side liquidity. So that could be your move. You could even pop this up above. Here we go. Kind of what I'm thinking. We've got 15 seconds. See if this red folder nose does anything to any of these trades. 5, 4, 3, 2, No big pops there. Maybe the numbers haven't hit. Oh, it says 8:30. I'm an idiot. We still have 30 minutes. All right. So what I'm going to do is I am going to take a break. Nature calls. So let me go take care of that. And then we'll be back. All right. Took care of that. I have to keep one ear off on these headphones because it just sounds weird. Listening to yourself talk and there's a slight delay, it makes you want to talk slower and hear yourself finish words. It's weird. Let's keep one ear out. It sounds natural. I don't even know why I have this. Only, really, it's just to monitor the level of the music. So, pound coming down to where might want to grab this liquidity before it runs higher. If it doesn't respect this and wants to drop down into here for like an OTE, your optimal trade entry from the London move, it's right there. So it's below my stop. So there's some fair value gaps and down in here. So it wouldn't surprise me. Again, I am not in these trades. I'm not going to take these trades. This is pure demo technical analysis on a couple of crazy week of up down all around. This is just if I'm going to remain bullish on pound and euro. These are PD arrays that price should respect if we're going to go up. And there's some liquidity under here. Euro as well. Dollar moving up. Oops. CAD almost in. Kind of what we're waiting for. So I thought news was at 8. It wasn't. It's 8:30. So. What are the what's gold doing? Man, big drop here. Grab some liquidity, hit this fair value gap, and now we've got some highs up here. S&P. Market at 8:30. So buy side liquidity up here on the 15-minute. We've already taken out sell side liquidity on the 15-minute here. We had an OTE back up into this 15-minute order block, touched it, and has reverted back down. Nas, huge imbalance from yesterday afternoon. Jumped up overnight. London didn't do much. We've had consistent drop. We had a return back into this volume imbalance, and now we've kind of come through it, coming back up into it. So this low's been taken on ES. That ain't right. What the heck? Real-time trading hours. That's why it's not showing up. Never mind. Well, you can see. Look, this low has been taken. The 16, what is that? The Tuesday low has been taken. Tuesday low has not been taken. So, that's some S&T. Interesting. You got buy side. Sell side's been taken. You've got buy side. Sell side has not been taken. Okay. What's your pound doing? Reaching our area of interest. Dollar trying to get up there. Dollar CAD trying to get up there. Euro not quite down there. This is the way to Gabe. Wait. And you think about it. This is what hunters do. We hunt. We don't take our gun, walk into the woods, and just start randomly blasting because we heard a twig break over here or because we saw some leaves rustle over there. We wait. We're quiet. We're patient. We hide. We stalk. We sit on our hands and we wait. And then when that big trophy game shows up, when that perfect setup presents itself, that's when we attack and take it down. That's what Venator trading is. Hunting. And sometimes that game's going to get away. You're going to take a shot, you're going to miss. And there's nothing to get mad about. Just set up, wait, he'll come back. I don't understand why people get so mad when they lose one trade. The market is open 24 hours a day, 5 days a week. There is always going to be another setup. The bus is going to come to the bus stop and pick you up. And if you miss the ride, just sit there and wait. Another bus is going to show up. We get so mad and we let our psychology ruin everything that we do. Everything. Trading is all about what's up here. And most of us understand how to trade and we have a system, or if you don't have a system, you're looking for one. The system is not the hard part. It's you. You're the hard part. This game plays so many mind tricks on you. This industry. It's not a game. Call it a game because it's like, hey, what's your game? It's not a game. It's an industry. It's a business. And it plays so many mind tricks. You start looking at the profit and loss. You start thinking about what being a funded trader could provide for you and your family and those you love. How it could change your life. And then every trade bears so much weight, knowing the potential that you're trying to reach for and achieve. And we just have to sit on our hands and understand this is probability. You are not going to have 100% accuracy. Hell, you're probably not going to have 70% accuracy. If you have a good risk management and you can consistently execute on your edge and you're winning, when you win more than those trades that you lose, you will be profitable. It may not happen in a month. It may not happen in 2 months. Find a prop firm that has no time limits and take your time if you're still working on your edge. If you have your edge and you know your probabilities and you know through back testing and forward testing and experience what your edge provides, then risk 1.5%, 2% per trade on a challenge to get funded. There's no reason not to. If your data says you don't have more than 3 losing trades in a row over the course of 6 months, that's a probability I'm willing to work with. So, yep, still one viewer. All right, 13 minutes before the actual news come out this time. We're gonna get tapped in. Oh, we're getting tapped in on CAD. Dollar's climbing back up. Pound has almost tapped us in. Euro is still a little ways away. So. Let's see, in a couple groups, see if there's anything going on Twitter. Kind of a jam. Who are the guys that you follow on Twitter? Let's see. The Flash movie's coming out. I've never been a huge, besides Batman, I've never been a huge fan of the DC Comics. The first Wonder Woman, I think I kind of liked. Don't even think I watched the second one. Maybe I did. I don't remember. The Dark Knight. Probably my favorite Batman stuff. I don't know. The Flash looks interesting to me, but DC Comics just did not do a great job. I think Marvel Universe just totally captured everything. Did it the right way. Think about all this new AI stuff going on. It seems like my Twitter timeline is all about some of the new AI things that are happening, the different bots and GPTs or whatever. It's pretty crazy. Some of the videos and artwork and things that it can do for you. Pretty insane. Here's a guy at Real Weird Gene 39 minutes ago. Euro dollar's bullish. Pound dollar's bullish. Dollar CAD is consolidating. Aussie is bearish. Does this look like high probability conditions for the majors? No, it does not. So my patterns, like I trade ICT concepts. 2022 mentorship is what made everything finally start clicking for me. Order blocks, breaker blocks, fair value gaps, imbalances. Those are my bread and butter setups now. So that's what I look for. Those are the PD arrays I'm looking for. Optimal trade entries, premium discount. Don't buy if price is in a premium. Don't sell if price is in a discount. Price, if it's going to trend, should be respecting order blocks. And so if it's moving up, it should respecting any down closed candle. If it's moving down, it should respect any up closed candle. Those are where the volume and that's where people are collecting positions to move in certain directions. So anyway, man, all these people selling courses on how to use Chat GPT or Auto GPT or Open GPT or Midjourney or whatever. Amber Heard. So this is, remember the Johnny Depp trial? She sued him. She lost. She looked like a complete idiot that entire time. Amber Heard announces she will officially return as Mara in the upcoming movie Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. I'm a Jason Momoa fan, not an Aquaman fan. Again, the DC comics, man, they aren't. I think the thing with the Marvel stuff is that it felt. Sounds so stupid. It felt more believable. Characters felt more believable. They felt more human. I don't know. The DC comics feel more comic booky. I don't know, just not my thing. Real Weird Gene. Great follow on Twitter. Very successful trader. He says, my ego took a beating watching my performance go from no losses on an average trading week to 2 to 3 losses the last couple of weeks. It's difficult trying to teach traders that this is normal and doesn't mean you suck as a trader. What separates you from the rest, though, is your ability to get ego out of the way and minimize risk exposure until price conditions allows for usual performance. He's right. He's right. When you're consistently profitable and you hit a losing streak, this is what I'm saying. You take it as this personal attack and you begin to question yourself. Do I have the skills? Can I do this? Am I an idiot? Do I suck? God, I'm such a loser. This is so embarrassing. Man, it's just hard. It's hard to deal with. But that's when you have to be self-disciplined. That's when you have to look yourself in the mirror, slap your face, be like, all right, you know how this works. Minimize your risk. Capitalize on your moves when they happen. And eventually, you'll start seeing things correctly more frequently again. And when you're not, size down, lower your risk, wait. Let's see what else we got. Looks like there's another prop firm that's closed. I'd never even heard of these people, but First Class Forex Funds has officially pulled the rug, according to a tweet from My Funded FX. It says, if you're a customer in that business, you have been fooled and taken advantage of, and this kind of behavior gives the prop industry a bad name, and I hope justice is brought to those affected. I agree. There's a lot of scammers out there. You got to be careful, man. You got to do your research on these prop firms, and don't get taken advantage of. It's so easy. All right, dollar CAD, my position here, filled in this fair value gap. Come back up in to this order block. We've had to break a structure. So yeah, it's kind of what I'm expecting. I'm expecting the dollar to be weak. Relative equal lows down here ultimately from Monday, Friday last week. So this is also a money maker sell model. Now I am familiar with what that is. It's an ICT concept, the MMXM. So X is buy or sell, MMS model, MMB model. So this would be, if this is going to work, this would be your sell model. So you've had to break a structure, had an impulse move down, and really it's the second leg that you're wanting to get into on this. You've had to break a structure, you would expect price to come down with an impulse, leave a fair value gap, and you want to get it on that retest or that refill, that fair value gap, this order block. If we get a move down, this would become your order block you're targeting with a fair value gap, then targeting these lows. So a couple different ways to skin the cat, all possible. Man, dollar is not going to come back up. It looks like it's just going to run away lower now. Didn't get all the way back up to where I thought it would get into that fair value back again. And maybe with the news in 2 minutes. We got a minute 15 actually. So maybe we'll get a quick bump down and into our demo trades here. See what happens. We may not. Got a minute left. See price climbing on the euro, climbing on the pound, falling on the dollar. Pretty hard. S&P is climbing a little bit. Yeah, it's coming back up in that line of balance. Here we go. 30 seconds. Got relative equal lows here on the pound engineered. Still have relative equal lows on the euro engineered. And a fair value gap. So see 10 seconds. See what this durable goods order does to our market movement. All right. Here we go, new 15-minute candle. Price opens a little bit lower. We have a little volume imbalance here. Whoa, came in super hot on the durable goods orders. Way over forecast. So, I mean, I feel like that's significant. I don't even know what durable goods orders mean. If they're that high, why? What does that even indicate? I don't know. I'm just waiting for it to see if it will use price to tap us in. So we got tapped in on our pound. Dollar is rebounding higher. Dollar CAD rebounding higher. And this makes me want to think, oh, that original position where it was going to tap into that fair value gap, we would have been in right there. But I don't know. I'm still bearish. Pound's running up. Euro is not, doesn't look like Euro is going to give us the entry we are wanting unless the dollar can run up higher. $7.30. 8:30 New York. Dollar under renewed pressure. Yep. Here we go. All right. So I need to go get ready for the rest of my day. And spend some time with the wife before we headed off to work, to our jobs. So you can see here, I will follow me at Venator Trading on Twitter. I will post updates to these trades as we go throughout the rest of the day. Pound is running already at 1-to-1 and above. So on a 2% risk, we would already be at break even right here. This would be moved to break even. So I'm just gonna, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put I'm gonna draw a line and just put, I'd actually be just above. So like right here, I'd move into profit. And we'll just call this risk-free trade now. We will take partials right here. And if I have 2% on, I might take like 0.5%. So maybe like 25% of the trade or 30%. Let's just say take off 30%. Right here. So we'll see if that happens. I'll tweet out as we go. First stream in the books, hour and 40 minutes almost. So, hey, that's kind of cool. To myself, thanks for watching. To anybody that watches this later, subscribe, like, and I'll be here Wednesday, Thursdays, and Fridays. Love to have you follow along. So, all right, everybody.